expensive. But before I went to my host school, I spent 2 weeks on a small farm in France. And I had a close call on the plane, but you already heard one of those stories, so I'm not going to go into that. But my really big close call was on my day off. We had a schedule, we worked on the farm every day, this and that. On my day off, I thought it'd be fun to go into the town, explore, get a bit to eat. And I am one of the most prepared people you might ever meet, and my roommate's back there. It's kind of annoying, right? Yeah. But it can come in handy sometimes. So, before I, got on the plane to fly to Paris or anything, I had, all the directions. I had Google Maps, coming out my butt. I knew where I needed to go, okay? So, the farm I was staying at, I even had a Google map printed from the farm to the town center, which was a couple minutes drive away, to the police station in case anything happened. So on my day off, I was going to walk, but the guy who owned the farm was actually driving into town that day, so he said he would drive me. I said, great. Saves me it was about a 15-minute walk on a nice day, it would have been fine. But I said, yeah, I'll take the ride. So I go, I explore for the afternoon, and had a nice day, and then it's time to walk back. I thought I knew the way back. I was very, very wrong. So here I am in a small town in France, beautiful, but I don't know French. I probably should mention that. I got a cute little phrase book before I left, very nice, had a bunch of phrases and words. I was very excited. And I learned a bit with my, the people that I was staying with, and people I was with knew all these different languages, but coming from America, I only knew English. So I learned some things, wasn't very good, and it was very, hard sometimes. The woman who also owned the farm would speak to me in French, and I was just I really don't know what you're saying. Please, I don't speak French. I'm so sorry. I felt really bad. And half the week I was saying, shut your mouth instead of shut the door. So that was nice. I'm walking back, and it should take about 50 minutes, and it's going to be an hour 15, and I'm like, this doesn't really seem right, because the directions I had printed out were wrong. So, I'm walking and I'm walking, not really in walking boots. I had boots, but you really shouldn't be walking them for 3.5 hours. Might I mention in the rain, and my umbrella had broken. So I'm walking, and it's kind of getting a little bit dark, and I don't really know where I am. And it starts to get to the point where I'm like, this is not right. I definitely am not anywhere close to the farm that I'm supposed to be at, and I'm in trouble. So it gets to the point where, I'm starting to panic, and I'm walking very far. I go into a pastry shop, I ask for help. He calls his friend, who can't understand anything I'm saying, and has to call me back on her landline, and she doesn't really help me that much, because, I'm not giving her much to work with. I knock on the side of a house all by itself on the side of the highway, and then their dog starts barking at me, so I ran away, so I'm really freaked out. This dog's chasing me or something. So finally, I get to the destination on my Google map, which turns out to have the same name as the farm that I was staying at, so that was my mistake. No matter how prepared you are, you never know what can happen. So it's getting dark, it's raining, and I'm really I'm crying. I'm like, this is it, this is the end, what's happening? And I'm waving down the cars, and no one's stopping me, and frankly, I don't think I want a random guy to pick me up, so I was kind of grateful that didn't happen. But finally, a woman stops, and I have my little book, and I say, in French, I'm lost. That's really the only thing that can help me in this situation is I'm lost. And I only had one phone number on me, and it was not the phone number of anyone I was staying with. It was the phone number of a woman I met earlier that day in the local chocolate shop. And to tell you how over-prepared I am, I looked at the farm the night before I left, or sometime before I left. I found someone's blog post about the farm, and she had written about this really nice woman she met at the chocolate shop. So unbeknownst to this woman in the middle of France, I kind of knew who she was already when I met her that day. I pretend I had no idea who she was. Because I'd be like, oh yeah, I read about you online the other week. That would be really creepy. But she was so nice. She gave me her phone number to say if I ever wanted to eat meat, I could come to her house for dinner, but I love the vegetarian food, so I was like, oh, that's okay, but thank you. She was so nice, though, and I had her phone number. I didn't bring the phone number of the farm with me, though, but I had her phone number. I gave this phone number to the French woman that picked me up. They spoke in French, and it turned that she drove me all the way back exactly where I started. The nice woman, Anne, from the chocolate shop, picked me up with her 2 little kids strapped in the back. She drove me to the farm, and I was just so grateful. And just by chance, I had met this woman, gotten her phone number, and she saved me. And I was so grateful. And she said I could always come over, and she said, with me, you're never alone. And that was my close call.